Yo, 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 my Star Citizens and Noob Gamers. Welcome back to another episode of Star Citizen with me, Mennings. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing part 6 of the extensive beginner's guide. So today we're going to be talking about components. So we hope you like this video, guys. If you do like this video, don't forget to take that pointer and tickle that like button. It really does help us out. And don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe notification for more videos as we drop them. Just hitting that like button engages, or leaving a comment engages on the video, and it pushes us out to more people on YouTube. And we're loving all that. So also check out the description of the videos now, and there's a link there if you want to support the channel more to join the membership and get some benefits from that, as well as our Discord server. You can come along. We've got about 100 people on our Discord server now, and we're all chatting away and loving just having conversations and jumping on the game together. So have a look at that, and also look at the org, the Noobs Gaming org. So let's get into this one, guys. Today we're going to be talking components. So I'm not great with components. I just know how to change them out. The ins and outs of them, I only know a little bit. Now, you can check out Subliminal. I'll put a link in the description to some of his stuff. He goes into depth with all of this. And so if you want to be more in depth with it, then you can go and look at some of his stuff. And I'll also put this site here, Erkle, into the description as well. And this is just the DPS calculator, Erkle. And what you can do is you can select your ship and build up your ship with components and see how it's going to look once you've got them components. So you can come into here. This is how you'll come in, and then you'll be presented with the menus down the side, like your calculator, and then this different stuff of data on the components. Then you got your weapons, your turrets, your mining lasers, EMPs, QEDs. You've got your missiles racks here, shields, power plants, coolers, quantum, and then paints, which you can change here, but there's only so many of them you can buy. And then your thrusters, which you can't change. It's got a lock on it there. So if they've got a lock on it, you can't change it, like here and like here on this turret here. Then you've got your power priority. So when you change your power priority, it'll start changing the numbers depending on where you set that priority. And so I'm just going to take that back to what it was. There. And you've also then got 4 slots for different things, different vehicles, basically. Can I change that there like that? No. Can't get 33 on that. There we are. And so you can change your different vehicles there on what you want, and then you can save them, and you can create accounts and stuff like that. Then here you've got your different info on the stuff you're putting on, and whether it's sustained fire or burst fire, and the damage it's going to do on that. And then down here, you've got the different information from each of these things. As you start putting them on, you'll see the difference with them. And when you change up your powers here, this stuff will change here. So what we're going to be looking at here is weapons. We'll go through weapons first. So if you want to change your weapons, so like this has got a turret on it. It's a size 3 turret. And then what it has on it is 2 size 1 laser cannons. So when you have a size 3, you can then have a size 3 fixed weapon, but you can't with this one because it's on the arrow. But you can have a size 3 fixed, or you can have a size 3 gimbal, which we'll show you in a minute, and then a size 2 weapon. But this one's got 2 size 1s on this turret here, because the turret you're going to only have the size 3 and then 2 size 1s. And what this means here, this will overheat over time, so you've got to be careful of that. And then this is your cooling rate and your electromagnet rate. I'm not too sure, or power draw rate, I think it might be. Like I said, I'm not too sure on the numbers themselves, what they mean. So you'd have to go and look at Subliminal more for that stuff. Right, so like we've got a puck on this one, like a gimbal puck. And what that does is, if you don't know, is if you press G when you have somebody locked, you can change your firing mode from static, where you've got to move the ship, to auto. And what it'll do then is it'll bring a bigger ring up, and it'll lock onto the pip of the enemy as long as they're in that big ring, and then it'll stick with that. Basically, it'll automatically track them for you. So that's what the pucks do. But the thing is you've got a size 3 puck, you can only put a size 2 weapon on it. You could put a size 3 fixed gun on it, but if you want that auto gimbaled effect or feature, then you're going to have to put a size 2 gun on it. Some people argue that putting a size 3 weapon on will be better because you can do more damage, whereas some people will say putting a size 3 puck on with a size 2 weapon is going to be better because you're going to do more damage because you're actually going to hit them more. So it's up to you on how you feel you can do with that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to look at the weapons again in a minute. Then you've got your missile racks, size 2 missiles. You can change your missile racks and have more missiles. So like this one, you'll only have so many missiles with this. And then you can change it so you can have more, like you could have size 1s instead. So say if you've got 4 size 2s, you can maybe have 8 size 1s. And then, so we'll look at that in a minute. Then you've got your shields, your power plants, your coolers, your quantum drive. So the first thing I'm going to head to here is the quantum drive. You got this star map here as well, which we'll show you in a minute as well. So with the quantum drive, I've got a beacon on here, military grade C, and it can only do a maximum distance of 20 million kilometers. So it won't get from Crusader to Hurston. It won't be able to do it because that's 32 and this is 59, so it won't get to that. So what you have to do is put in a different quantum drive or go from space station to space station and refuel quantum. So with the arrow, if I wanted to go to Crusader to Hurston, I'd have to either do that or get a different quantum. So what I would do is come and look at changing my quantum drive. Now, so you have, like I said, different sizes with these as well. These are all S1s because of the size of the ship. Then as you go up in bigger ship, there'll be bigger sizes, and you may get 2, like here, you've got 2 coolers here. You may get 2 power units and shields and stuff like that. So you've got different grades. You've got grade A all the way down to grade D. Obviously, grade A being the better. Then you've got different classes. You've got civilian, competition, which will be things like racing, industrial, military, and stealth, depending on what you want, basically, for your needs. So if I'm building up this fighter ship here, I'm going to say, right, I want to either stay around the same area like Crusader, but I want to bounce around while I'm there. So you've got to look at the distance first, and then the second thing would be to look at spool time and speed. So if we're looking at these 3 here, you've got the stealth. If you want to become stealthy, if you want to be more stealthy and not be detected as quick. And then you've got the military and the civilian. Now the military one is got a big top speed of 283,000, but its quantum requirement is big. It means you'll use a lot of quantum fuel, and its max distance is only 27 million kilometers, but its spool up time is 1.7 seconds. It's fast, very fast spool up time. So that if you're just bouncing around somewhere like Crusader and you're not going to have to go to Hurston or anywhere like that, this one would be a good one because the spool up time is really quick and its speed is really quick. So you're going to get to places really, really fast. So if I was to pick that, and then I don't think I can change like the places I want to go to. I'm not too sure I can choose. I'm sure there was somewhere I could say like what would the requirement be for this. I don't know where that is. Don't know where that is. Can I change it here? No. Oh, so basically, if I was just hanging around Crusader, this one would do because I could spool out quick and it's got a better top speed. But if I wanted to jump around to ArcCorp or Microtech or something like that, then I would look at maybe looking at the Atlas. So with the Atlas put in, you can see here now I can actually make it across to these places. The thing is, as well as its spool up time is 5 seconds, so a little bit longer than the 1 second with the VK1, the VK00. But its distance is massive, a massive distance on it. So there would be out of the 2 that I would choose if I didn't want to go stealth. Depending on whether I wanted to go further distance, I would go for the Atlas, and if I wanted to just hang around and just have quick spool up times, then I would go for the V. So that's that, basically. That's understanding that. And as you see, as I'm changing stuff here, these numbers will change here as well. Like your spool up time is 5 seconds, whereas if I go back to the other one, this one, the spool up time is 2 seconds. The cooldown time is 13 seconds. What's the cooldown time of the Atlas? The cooldown time is 9 seconds on the Atlas. So once you've come out of Quantum, it's going to take 9 seconds to cool down. So introduction effect time is 5 seconds on the Atlas, but on the VK100, it's 5 seconds as well. The power draw request time is 0 on this VK and 0 on that. So you can see the the information of this here and what it does here basically. So if I go from the Atlas to the VK again, I don't think anything changed here on this. It all seemed fine. So what you want to do then is, so you pick that. Say I pick the Atlas because I want to go further distances. Oh, go back. These are the places where you can buy it. So you can only buy it here on RL5 at Platinum and Bay for 17,900. The VK can be bought at these places for 43,000. So more expensive. A lot more expensive. So that's the Quantum Drive. Thrusters you can't change. Paints you can get in some places. That I don't know if it tells you on here where you can buy them. Next, we're going to go to the coolers. Now, so the coolers, you're going to want, if things need to be cooled down quicker, like your cool down time needs to be better, then you're going to change your coolers. Now, this one has two. And again, I would go into the A grade, because the A grade is not that much more expensive. 27 to the B being 15 or 22. So you see, it's not much of a difference. About 10 grand is not a lot. It's not a big difference when you're going to be relying on this. So I would look at the military grade for this military ship, or I would look at the stealth one or the industrial one. So the cooling rate on the military glacier is the power request time is 12.5 and the cooling rate is 2,900. Whereas with the snowblind, is the power request time is a lot quicker and the cooling rate is a lot lower. And then the ultra flow, you've got a big cooling rate because it's industrial, but the power request time is 8. So if you're going to go for the military, you're going to get quicker cooling rate, but it's going to take a little bit longer. Whereas with the stealth, you're going to have a lower cooling rate and quick request time. So I would go for maybe the glacier for the military ship. And then you could then, if you wanted to, swap the second one out and have something like the industrial one there, the ultra flow there, so that you have a quicker one that starts the quick spooling quick, and or like the snowblind starts the cooling quicker, but then this one kicks in and does less. With the I don't even know what I'm talking about. This cooling rate here. As I said, Subliminal talks more about the pairings of two different ones in his videos and getting the best use of the two. So basically, like I said, I don't know a massive amount about these, but I wanted to show this video for people just to come and have a look themselves and get into changing their units rather than just sticking with the bog standard basic units. Right. So let's have a look. So we've got them on now. So, just looking at here, your power draws and stuff like that. Cool. So the next thing I'm going to look at is your power plant. So again, all this power that is needed from these things, this power request, is going to be, you're going to need a decent power plant to do it. So the more you upgrade your equipment, the better power plant needs to be. It's like having a PC and then you've got so much stuff in it, you're going to end up having to change the power unit in it for it to cope. So again, we'll go for the grade A's again, and we're going to look at the Brenton, which is the industrial one. So if you're doing something like you was doing up like an industrial ship that was doing work, then you could look at the industrial ones because you're going to get decent power out of that. But the power request time's 21. Whereas the military one is going to have a little less power, but the power request time is a lot quicker. So things can draw the power quicker, basically, or request the power quicker. So like when your shields go down and stuff like that, it just gets the request time a lot quicker. And then you've got your competition. So for racing, if you want to do racing, and then you've got again like your military quad cell one here. So I would tend to go for this ship, I would tend to go for the JS300 on that, because that's going to be enough power for everything still. And then we'll go up to shields, And again, we'll do the same. We'll go through the grades. And for the military ship, again, I'm probably going to go for the FR66, but everything looks pretty much the same on the shields. But as you click it, say if I go for the FR66 here, you can see over at this point here, the effects changing. So the distortion shutdown did damage, and the distortion max reboot time changing there, and you see the cooling rate per second changing as well. So I would look through these as you want them. I'll go for the FR66 because that's the military one for the. So basically, because I'm making a fighter ship, I would go for the military grade unless I was building a stealth. So, like I say, I don't know massive amounts about the components themselves and the rates, but it's showing you guys how to look at it and just go and changing them yourselves. So that's what that's about. So going on to weapons, so we've got in the arrow, we've got 4 missile holders. Now we can change these missile holders. So you've got this one which has got 2 ports, and this one's got 1 port, and then the port size is 1 or 2 on this one, and then max size 1 and 2. And then the rest of it is just the same. So say if I was to change, we've got the 12 on. If I went to the 21, I can then put on size 1s on here. And I could then go to whether I wanted infrared, electromagnetic, infrared, or cross section. So the spark ones. So the lock time is what you're going to be looking at. So real quicker lock time on the task forces. The locking angle is 60, 750 lock range, whereas with these Pioneers there's a bigger lock range. Minimum and maximum, so it's quite open. And then the speed of the thing itself, the missile. So I like the cross-section ones. So you see the damage it does. The arrow, the infrared one does a lot of damage, 2333. Whereas this one does 116, and so you can click that and you can get 2 of those. Whereas if I chose this one here, this one is it? Yeah, size 2. I'm only going to get one size 2. So if I took the cross section of that, I'm only going to get 1 size 2. Whereas if I pick this and go to the 212, this one here, I can have 2 of these spark ones, size 1s. So that's what you can do with these. You can change these in that way. So you can have 2, 4, 6, 8 missiles basically. So these ones are the big. This one we can have 4 on this one and 4 on this one. So if we wanted 4 size 1 sparks there and kept them all the same, and then with this one again we choose this one and have this one with 2 size 1 sparks. We've got 2, 4, 8, 12 missiles that we can have. Instead of 4, 6, 8, we've got 12. So it's about just doing what you want, what you feel best. If you want more missiles or if you want bigger missiles, then it's just coming in here and looking at that. So let's go on to the weapons themselves. So with this, we've got a remote turret, which we can't change, but we can change the guns on them. So I always change my guns to laser cannons. You've got ballistic Gatling, which is going to run out of ammo because it's ballistics. Then you've got the scattergun, which is like a shotgun. And then the ballistic repeater, which is, again, it's going to run out of ammo, but it's quite deadly. And then the ballistic cannon there, which is deadly as well. So I generally go to the laser ones and look at the lasers. So I'd go for the distortion. So the distortion weapons will basically knock a person's power off and then leave them floating around while they get finished off. So that's what the distortion ones do. But I tend to go for the laser, either the laser cannons or the laser repeaters. The laser cannons are slower firing, but they do more damage. So I would tend to go for things like the bulldogs. So we've got size 1 bulldogs here that we can click. And so you've got 2 of those now instead of the Gatling, instead of the other ones we had. Oh, I can't remember what we had on there. We might have already had bulldogs. So I would change out this Gatling, this ballistic Gatling here. Now the choices are, we have the puck on. A lot of people, there's arguments of having the puck. Whether you're a skilled pilot and you can have a bigger weapon and do more damage, or whether you are not as skilled, so you need the puck to lock onto the target and keep that lock on while you're in that area of them, but you're going to have a smaller weapon because you've got a size 3 weapon holder slot, but if you put a puck on, you can only put a size 2 weapon on it. So I'll show you with both of them. So what I would do is I would tend to, again, I would go and put a laser cannon, a laser repeater on it, on this. So I'd look at maybe the Badger laser repeater on it and have one of them as well, which is gimbal. By pressing J on your keyboard, you can make sure you get it on the auto and it gimbals it. Or the other option is you take the puck off and you just put on something like a size 3 Panther laser repeater instead. So that's the other option. So you're going to do more damage, but it's going to be harder for you to handle. So that's the quick overall of this. And then once you go to your different slots, you can change your different weapons. So say if you went here and you selected a ship, and maybe we selected something like a Prospector, which is what is it? Prospector. Is it this one? There. So you might want to change your Prospector to be different. So you might want so it's got an industrial grade C on this. You might say, well, I'm going to be going long distances, so I'll probably go for that, the Atlas. But what I tend to do with something like the Prospector is I'm generally in one area. So once I get to that area, I don't need to jump in massive distances. So I'd rather go for something that's got a faster spool up time. So if I need to get away, I need a quick spool up time. So I would either go for the VK here or the Stealth. The Stealth is a little bit longer spool up time, but it's going to keep my signatures down. Plus, it's faster than the Atlas. So I would probably go for something like the military one here, which has got a real quick spool up time. So if you've got to get away, then you want a quick spool up time. You don't want to be getting shot as it's spooling up, taking 5-6 seconds to spool up. So you might think, well, that's going to be the better option for me, is to go for that one. Or the better option might be being stealthy, having a more stealthy ship so you don't get seen as much. But like I said, distance doesn't matter, because if I'm mining in like the Ark Corp area, Lyria, then there's a space station there, and I'll just go from the space station to Lyria, and that's basically, I don't need massive amounts of quantum distance. So I would go something with a better spool time or a stealth build on that. And then again with the coolers, again I would probably go for the stealth on the coolers just to keep my signatures down. And then the power plant, make sure I go do the same again with my power plant. As long as you make sure your power plant can handle the loads, I'd go for the stealth on it. And then the shields, it's up to you then on the shields, whether you want powerful shields with more to it. Looking at the different distortion things. So if you wanted, like, I'd go for maybe a stealth one. So I've got practically a stealth build on my Prospector. And then what I'll do is I'll power down my guns by pressing P, and that'll power my guns off. I think it's P, it's either O or P. One of them's shields, one of them's guns. And that takes your signature down again more when you're doing your prospecting. So, and then you can then set your shields up if you need to on your shields while you're prospecting, while you're mining, should I say. And then these arms, like I said, I will probably power them down or get rid of them altogether. Some people do when they're mining. And then you've got your different mining arms, which you can change in the game itself. You can't change. You can try the different mining heads and the stuff like that. You'd have to look into mining more. I'm going to be doing a mining video in this series, so I'll talk more about these mining heads and stuff then. So that's that. So that's how this works. And how we change them, I'm going to show you now in game itself. But there's the website and what it's about, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of information to come and have a look and try and do some build yourself. And basically just going to make sure you write down the shop name and the cost of it and stuff like that. So that's that. So that's Erkle. I'm going to go in the game now and I'm going to show you how we change these things in the game. Okay guys, so here we are in the game itself. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now. I'm just going to go in, quickly grab something to eat. And I'll do. Grab that. Little cheddar ham thing there. Eat that. I'll grab this energy drink here as well. That should help me with food. Yeah.
Obey all security and
put that on the floor, don't need it.
at all times. Their job is your
CIG, get rid of that later on. Right. So, if I press F1 on my thing, just giving you a better view of something here. So if I press F1, you have to make sure your ship is here in the area you're at, and it's not on the pad, it's actually stored away. So if it's got a lock on it, it means it's somewhere else and you can't, what's it called? You can't edit it. So we've got the anvil arrow here, which is what we was looking at in Erkle. So we'll click that and let it load in. And you can look around it with your mouse, clicking on your mouse. So on here we've got the mace, which is gonna you've got flares. So I've got like little flags and stuff like that, and little things that I can have on the dashboard, like little dashboard ornaments that you can put on that, and that's what that is. Then you got your systems with here, which is your coolers we was looking at, and then you've got your paints if you do buy any paints, and then you got your vehicle weapons here. So what I'm going to show you is, so I'm going to unequip some of these. So once you come in, you buy your gear. Say you buy your new stuff from the shop you're at. Well, it'll be in your local, so you'll see it in here. As long as you haven't left the place where you bought it from, or if you are going to leave it and you want to do it all in one go, make sure you put it on your ship when you travel into your ship inventory. So what you'll do is you'll come in here and then you click it, and then it'll show a list of different stuff you've got, and any that you've got will say equipped. And so you'll click on the one you want, and when you click it, it'll equip it, and you'll get this marker here saying this changes are pending, which means you need to hit this save and equip here. But it'll tell you all the information about it here. It's a size 1 grade 3 I've got here. I'd have to go and buy the components if I want them. So that's what you do basically. It's as simple as that. You go down to each one, you click on the one you want, and then once you've got them all done, you just hit save and equip, and then they'll go disappear, and then basically you've got them on. The same with the paints and your little toy that you can put on the front. And then the same with the missiles as well. You'll just click on the missiles or whatever, you'll unequip them. With the missiles, you have to, for some reason, you have to unequip them before you put the new ones on. But it's just the same thing. You would take them off. Take them off. It's the same. So yeah, so I don't think, can we do it there? Missile rack 1. Or is it here? So these are your missiles. Do I have to unequip them here? I'm not too sure.
It takes all of us working together to keep our
I'm not too sure why. Oh, there we are. Yeah, we was doing it there. Unequip. There we are. Unequip. That's how we do it. I wasn't hitting unequip, I was hitting the thing itself. So that's how you would do your missiles. You have to untake your missiles off first, and then you can put them on. As you see, you'll get a list of them then, of what you can put in there instead. And then if it's in use, it'll tell you that they're in use, and if they're available, it'll tell you. So we can put them back on basically, each of those. We can put them on. And then there's one available, we'll put that on. One available, we'll put that on. And back. There we are. And then we click save on that, basically. So, with the guns themselves as well, you would take off so you got the left wing one here, we would unequip that. Or you would, if you're going to take the whole puck off, or if you're just going to change the gun itself, like say you was going to take the Gatling gun off and put on a laser repeater, then you just choose that. But if you was going to put on the hard point, a size 3 instead of the puck, you would click the puck and you would unequip that as well. And that's basically it. That's as it goes, basically. Your ship has to be in the port you're at, and it has to be put away. So it's as simple as that. It's easy to do. It's going to take some learning to understand the different parts of it. Like I said, go and check out some of Subliminal stuff. He talks more about like equipping ships and the good things to do with it, with your equipment and that, depending on what you want. So yeah, so I highly recommend going and checking them out. So I hope this helps you out, guys. It's not like an in-depth guide on this is going to do this and this is going to do this. It's just more about this is how you change your components, and this is where you can look to building up your components and where you're going to buy them from and how much you can buy them from, and it's just the different aspects of it. Like I said, I don't understand the numbers on them as much. I just understand whether I want it to be stealthy, whether I want it to be able to travel longer distances or to have a better spool up time or stuff like that. But the rest of it, the numbers, I'm not too sure on, and it's going to take some learning from me. And I do watch the Subliminal videos myself to try and get as much information as I can. But hopefully it puts you on the radar of this can be done, and you don't have to just go around with the stock stuff. It was promised earlier on. I said I'd look at this star map, and what this is, you just click this and it takes you over to the star map, and we'll click enter full screen. Now this has changed just recently. You used to be able to click into the planets and get more information on them, but they've seemed to have changed it just recently, where you can't actually double click and actually go into the planet. But so what it is you got the star map. You start off here at Sol, which is our solar system where we live on Earth, and you've got the different factions that you can hide and not hide, unhide. You've got the different tunnels, jump tunnels that you can hide here, and then all the information about the areas. So like if you wanted like the threat areas or the economy areas, you can see the different things, and as we go in you'll see more. So if I was to go and pick Stanton, click enter, and then we click that, we bookmark it as well, we click that, it'll take us over to Stanton, and we can have a proper look around Stanton itself. So Crusader with its different orbital stations, its moons, like I said, you used to be able to click these and it would tell you stuff about it, information about the cities and stuff, but for some reason it's not showing that stuff anymore. I'm not too sure why. And you used to be able to click the jump points like this to Pyro here. You used to be able to click it and it would take you through to Pyro, and you could have a look at Pyro itself. But it's good. Keep an eye on this thing, because it's a great little map for looking around stuff. We'll go over to Pyro in a minute. But you basically can just look around the universe of Star Citizen and look around at all the different places. So if we go to routes and we go to Stanton, and then we go to Pyro. So Stanton to Pyro. There we are. And then we click that. Done. It allows us to calculate. And it'll show us the routes. So you can see there, it'll jump up to there and then to there and then onto the next one. So it's worth having a look at this. Like I said, you used to be able to click on the jump points. You used to double click them and it would throw you through the jump points and to the planet itself, or to the system itself. So we know Pyro's come in. So if we look at Pyro, if we go to search again, and this time we go Pyro. Enter, and then we'll see Pyro there, and we'll bookmark that and go there. It takes us all the way over to Pyro, and we can go in and have a look at Pyro and what's around in Pyro. So there's the star, and then you've got 3 planets here, asteroid cluster here, And I think there's a couple of more. Yeah, Pyro 3 there. So you got Pyro, the star 1, 2, 3, and I'm not sure if there's another one. Yeah, 4 and 5 here. 6, 7. Oh, 6 over here. Is there 7? NX. So you can see there, you can just come out and then you can have a proper look around. Like I said, I'm not too sure when they changed it, but you used to be able to do stuff with it. But it's still worth keeping an eye on and coming and have a look at times to get more information on the places. So that's the thing itself, the star map, and yeah, so you can see the threats there if you click on the threats and the economy, and then the census data. So yeah, that's it. That's the star map for you. So go and check that out for yourselves, guys. So yeah, so we hope you like this video, guys. If you did, don't forget to hit that pointer and tickle that like button, and don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe notification. Push us out as far as you can, guys, and help us grow this community. We're loving every single one of you. Take care, guys, and we'll see you out in the verse.